New Witch in Town is the newest choice of games game, and it's definitely a game. I don't really know how to describe my feelings of this game. I guess I enjoyed some parts of it. I thought it was weird, I guess, for a completely spoiler-free review. Buy this game only if you're into like young adult slice of life books. There is some magic, but it seems like it could have been dropped from the story. And this game really wants to railroad you into saving the forest that you come from. But you can change your life. So, I mean, I don't know. If you got $6 to spare and want to buy a nice, mediocre, little middle of the road slice of life novel, go ahead. I'm now going to be going into spoilers and my thoughts on the game. So the game opens up with you as a 19-year-old man, woman, or non-binary folk who has lived in the forest the last 9 years with your grandma. And you both happen to be witches. And yes, you're referred to as a witch, even if you're a male. There is no option to be a warlock, which I don't know why it bothered me so personally, but it did. I want to be called a warlock. I don't know, man. Your grandma then sends you to town back to her old house to save the forest as a company wants to come in and then expand the town and destroy the forest. And the game really wants you to care about that, but you probably won't. You're also introduced to your regular or your familiar, a cat or dog, and that's cool, I guess. Now, as you play, you almost start to wait to use your magic, as the description of this book on Steam makes you think a large amount of this game is going to be about being a wizard and casting spells in the backdrop of being in a small town. But instead, you're living in a small town and you can sometimes cast spells that don't really do much or impact the story that much. The main plot is about saving the forest from destruction or maybe letting it get destroyed to help the town financially. And there's multiple story threads to follow throughout the story, such as investigating the businessman in charge of new constructions or helping the people to get organized and make the town council know that you don't want the development to go through, or you can hang out with the romance options. Which I think is so stupid. I feel like most games kind of let you have your cake and eat it too with romance options, not interfering with the game and its main story, but kind of like aiding it or maybe making it more interesting or unique depending on your romance option. But it's just weird that the game makes you choose between hanging out with your partner or following the main story of saving the forest when that's the whole reason you're in town. Like, I don't know. It's not like your character has much of a personality, but I feel like if he does have one, he for sure cares about the forest a lot more than some girl or guy he met like literally a day ago. I just don't think it makes much story sense to kind of force you to choose. And as we're on the romance options, they all kind of have no personality. Like every romance option, I don't know. I already forgot who half of them are. There aren't really that many scenes with them, and it doesn't matter at all. They don't stand out. You know, you don't like getting more dialogue with them or learning more about them or asking them questions and lore about the story. Like, you just don't care about them. And then also, when you try to help the forest in this game, when you make those decisions, it's really just talking to people and saying, like, we have to save the forest. And the game lets you bring it up all the time. Like, all the time. Like, you're having dinner with your neighbors who are divided on the issue, and you're just like, let's save the forest. Like, I don't, there's a time and a place. Like, why, why is your character always bringing it up? And I feel like that's half the options half the time. Now I'm being pretty harsh, but the game, it's just really, it's pretty mediocre and boring. I don't know. I just feel so neutral on this title. And I read the interview the author gave. This is her first game, and I imagine she'll get better if she tries again. But as for this one, it's just really boring, and the magic they sell you the game on seems more like an afterthought. But that's just my opinion. If you really love slice of life books, maybe give it a try, or if you want to support the company and the author by buying it, I'm sure they would appreciate that. That's really all my thoughts on the matter. This has been Conduit Gaming. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Deuces.